Skull Island, 1974, the first meeting between Kong and humans. Scientist Bill Randa tries to escape from a huge spider monster. He realizes that there is nowhere to run and decides to throw his bag into the sea. But another monster emerges from the water. A huge crab attacks the spider and drags it into the ocean. In 2013, sailors found this bag. 2015, a girl named Kate Randa flies to Japan to check out her recently deceased father's apartment. Kate rides in a taxi and notices that there are many military buildings in the city. There are rocket launchers right on the streets. The taxi driver says that after G-Day, the government spends a lot of money to protect the city. The driver thinks there was no Godzilla attack in San Francisco, and all that was shown on the news were good special effects. But Kate was in San Francisco that day and saw everything with her own eyes. But she decides to remain silent and not talk about it. She opens the apartment with the key and goes inside. She finds photographs of her father, but does not recognize the other people in the photos. A woman and a young guy come out of another room. They think Kate is a thief, but she points to the photo and says that she just arrived at her father's apartment. It turns out that her father had a second family. The guy's name is Kentaro Randa. He is Kate's half-brother. The girl is shocked. She hates her father because he had a second secret family. Kate leaves. She is going to fly back to the USA. 1959, Kazakhstan. A group of scientists working for the secret organization Monarch travels to a place of increased accumulation of radiation. Their group includes young Bill Randa, military Lee Shaw, and Dr. Keiko Miura. Keiko measures the radiation and says they are moving in the right direction. Shaw says he never wanted children anyway. He looks at the girl and it becomes clear to us that there was a romantic relationship between them. Or Shaw is in love with Keiko, but Bill takes the girl by the hand and says that someday Shaw will find his love. They drive up to the fence and put on gas masks. They climb over the fence and walk through the forest. Soon they meet a boy. They point guns at each other. Keiko asks everyone to calm down and takes off her gas mask. The boy says that there is radiation only near the fence to scare away tourists and scientists from other countries. The group moves on and Keiko measures the radiation level.
Is there a problem?
The problem is there is no radiation.
They go further and arrange the charges. Instruments show that there is a large space underground.
Fire in the hole.
Kate goes to the airport and talks to her mom on the phone. Suddenly the connection is interrupted and alarm begins in the city. Kate does not understand what is happening, but Kentaro and her mother find her and they take Kate to the shelter. They say that most likely this is a drill. Kate remembers the day Godzilla destroyed San Francisco. Godzilla destroyed a bridge with many people on it. Kate was on the school bus. She tries to get the children outside, but the bus falls off the bridge. Kate becomes scared and tries to find a way out of the subway, but Kentaro's mother calms her down. Scientists have found many eggs of an unknown monster underground. Keiko decides to go downstairs, but Shaw is against her, risking her life. But Bill says this is the only chance to get samples. Shaw decides to go down with her. Kate thanks for the help, but decides to leave quickly. Kentaro tells her that together, they can find out what else their father was hiding from them. They go to his office and find a safe. It contained the same bag. They find a data warehouse and decide to find out what their father was doing. Kentaro asks his friend May to help. She begins decoding the data, and this is noticed by the secret agency Monarch. They immediately send their people to Tokyo. 5 days after G-Day, Kate's father finds her and gives her bus tickets. He says that he has important business and must leave. Kate is angry with him and doesn't understand why he leaves them. In the files on the disk, they find a photo of their grandma. It turns out they are Keiko's grandchildren. Keiko and Shaw go downstairs and begin to examine the eggs. But an earthquake begins, and monsters begin to hatch from the eggs. Shaw and Keiko try to climb up, but the monsters pull Keiko down.
Whoa!
Lieutenant Shaw receives an important assignment at headquarters. He must accompany Dr. Keiko. Shaw arrives at the docks on the island of Mindanao and meets Keiko. He did not expect to see the woman.
Maybe we can get a drink on my way out, huh?
She says that she is studying strange traces of radiation. Kentaro comes to his father's office and finds a folder with a photo of a young Lee Shaw. Shaw flirts with the woman a little and they hit it off, but Shaw notices a man in the bushes. It turns out to be Bill. He says he's just making a video. He says that local residents said that they saw a dragon here and he is going to find it. Shaw says that he cannot carry out his task in front of a stranger. Keiko says she doesn't need his protection, and Shaw gets angry and leaves. Kate tries to get on the plane but is found by Tim, an employee from Monarch. He asks her to go with him and puts a bag over her head in the car. The girl begins to panic and kicks the driver in the face. The car overturns and Kate manages to escape. She goes to the police, but they don't believe her words. May finds her and helps her hide. Meanwhile, Kentaro asks his mother about the man in the photo. She tells that Shaw is Kentaro's great uncle. The doorbell rings. Agents from Monarch come to collect secret data, but Kentaro escapes. He finds May and Kate and they decide to run away together. Keiko and Bill find a huge ship on the island. Bill says that this ship sank 9 years ago under Pearl Harbor. They go inside, and Bill finds his things there. He says that on that day they were attacked by a monster and no one else survived. They find dead sailors and understand that it is time to return, but they notice strange mucus in the place from where they just came. Bill decides to leave through another exit. They are attacked by a huge monster. Bill is crushed by the wreckage of the ship. Shaw comes to the rescue in time and saves them. They run out of the ship and see a huge monster. Kentaro decides to find Lee Shaw. He comes to the special institution indicated in his father's documents. It turns out that Shaw is still alive. He is glad to see his relatives and decides to help them find his father. He is sure that their father is still alive. He gets rid of the tracking device and gets behind the wheel of the car. They manage to escape. Several years after encountering a monster on a ship, Shaw, Keiko, and Bill teamed up to search for other monsters. A general arrives at their base. They show him the monster's trail and say that they can find it. They ask to give them 60 kilograms of uranium. Keiko suggests that the monsters feed on radiation. The general, seeing the scale, agrees to help them. When the military leaves, Bill calls them idiots, insulting Shaw as well. But Keiko says that it was only thanks to him that they succeeded. A team led by Shaw arrives at the beach to attempt contact with the monster, but the general deceived them. Instead of uranium, he prepared a huge bomb. He says that such a threat must be destroyed. Scientists are against it. They want to study a new form of life. Old Shaw brings everyone to South Korea. An old friend meets them there. He helps them escape from the border zone. Meanwhile, one of the Monarch bosses scolds her people for the unsuccessful operation to capture the brother and sister. She gives them a new task to find them and detain them. The military has been waiting for the monster for a long time, but it never appears. Scientists hope that the monster will not come, but the devices begin to break down, and a huge Godzilla comes out of the water. People are shocked by what they see. The monster heads straight for the bomb. The general gives the command to blow up the giant. Keiko tries to stop them, but Shaw stops her from doing so. An explosion occurs. The team, led by the grandfather, goes by plane to Alaska. Shaw is sure that their father is there. They arrive at the scene and find a crashed plane, but an unknown man is in the pilot's seat. They find a tent and realize that their father was here. Meanwhile, the old man's friend notices claw marks on the plane and runs towards the plane. He gets into it and starts driving towards the others. But a huge monster crawls out of the ground. The giant breaks the plane and freezes the pilot. And this is where episode 3 ends. Write in the comments if you would like to see a continuation. Like, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell to be the first to watch new videos.